Welcome to the Bad Movie Night podcast, covering the worst movies you've never seen. We hope you enjoy listening to Bad Movie Night podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another bonus episode of the Bad Movie Night podcast. It is a surprise bonus episode. And today we're going to talk about the 2007, I believe.
Maybe.
We'll get into it. Horror movie, Shadow Puppets.
Do you know who you are?
Do you know who you are?
I love the Ghostbuster font.
Yeah.
John, do you know who you are?
I am John the ghost. Do you know who you are, Christopher?
Not anymore. Not after
No.
watching this shit. Holy shit, guys. I was looking on Tubi for random shit one day, and then I clicked into this, and when I check out a movie on Tubi, I never start at the beginning. I just click into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I clicked into the middle, and we had the lady from Star Trek Enterprise and James Marsters, what's his name from Buffy, Spike from Buffy in their underwear, and I'm like,
Yep.
I'm on board.
Yep.
Sign me up. The shittiest set I've ever seen in my life. Walking around this, I'm on board. I stopped it right there, and I went onto Twitter and I said, hey guys, I want to watch this movie, and I need you guys there because I feel like if I watch it by myself, I'm just a weirdo. But then Stefan from Cannibal Video chimed in. I already watched that. It reviewed it.
I think they reviewed just about every shitty movie out there.
Yeah, they have.
He also lent the wardrobe to the whole cast.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
We'll get into all that. So this is a special bonus podcast. Just throwing it out there, putting that energy out into the world. And we got John from They Said We Said on here.
Yeah. Hey,
how's it going, John?
It's feeling good. If I were to get lost in a shitty dungeon basement that I was probably going to get hepatitis by touching the walls, I'd pick you two to help me get out of that escape room, because souls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much how this movie describes everything. Souls and stuff.
Souls and mind and body and consciousness and all that bullshit.
Right.
I have a problem though, John. I don't have gray Hanes underwear. So what are we gonna do?
Well, Lindsay does. So
okay, I'll borrow a pair. I'm sure it'll fit fine on me.
Mine was white, but then
it became brown.
Out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Little blood, little
a little blood. You're not supposed to squat that hard.
Well, I was trying to act as hard as Jolene Blaylock did in this, and gave myself a hemorrhoid.
Oh my god! I have a theory about her. We'll unpack it as it goes.
Oh man, yeah.
Yes. So before we get into all of that, got to do my plug. Okay, so everybody, hang on. We're doing the plug for my movie, which is now crowdfunding. We're almost at 50% crowdfunded in like 8 or 9 days. I want to get to 50%. So if you haven't checked it out, go to maketransient.com. Please consider contributing to the fund. Help us make a movie. There's a bunch of cool perks. And if you're a Bad Movie Night fan and you want to get access to all that Patreon content, you can get one of the perks, gives you all the Patreon content, plus you help make a movie. So go to maketransient.com. That's my plug.
Nice.
How plugged was that?
That was pluggerific.
Pluggerific, I believe.
Dialed in, as they say.
Dialed in. Wow, you were so hip. It's that West Coast life, I guess.
Yeah. It's this new hat, I'm trying to capture
that is a nice hat.
It's a nice hat.
You and Stefan always has these cool hats too that are like flat brimmed, and I'm like, I think I'm too ugly and fat or something to get one of those.
Well, I wouldn't. Wasn't the first, reason I would say that it might not work. I think it would. You have a nice shaped head, especially now.
Oh no, when I shaped it, I watched the video of it. I have like a center, like a front plate thing and then another one, and there's like a
Oh.
valley in between. It's really disgusting.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
this
just cover
is-
that back up.
I'm covering
That's
it
why
right. That's
you
why
need a
this,
hat.
Right.
that's why the hat is on, and yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
have one, but it's all like rimmed hard, so it's like a
Mm.
dad hat, and it makes my head look small. I look like I'm fucking 5 years old or some shit.
You need
You
one
got
of
the
them
widow.
trucker caps.
Right.
Where
You
do
got
you
the
get
widow's
that?
peak thing going on though, which is good because I have it too. One day I went to
This?
a barber and they knocked it off, and my wife wouldn't talk to me until it grew back.
Is that what this is right here?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
the
widow's
Eddie
peak.
Munster.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Usually not.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
It's a thing.
I have it too, so we're peak brothers.
Okay, well, at least we got that.
Yeah.
I'll have to research how to buy a hat. I haven't bought a hat in years, so I don't like hats that have like the strap in the back that you have to adjust. Like
Mm.
I don't get
Do
nobody.
you
Ain't
want
nobody got
something
time for that.
fitted?
Yeah, I want something
Right.
fitted. Do you ever wear hats, Lindsay?
Yeah, I wear hats every now and then.
Really?
Is it annoying with long hair though?
It can be. It depends on the hat. Sometimes, like, if I'm just running out the door, I'll grab a hat because it's just an easy way to. You don't have to do your hair or
Do
anything.
anything,
You
yeah.
don't have to do anything. You just throw a hat on.
Yeah.
But it's like I've got other hats that I wear to different places, different outfits, depending on the style. So
See, you have outfits and style. I don't have either of those things.
I'm
See
thinking
how we're
about
talking
getting a
about
beret.
anything but shadow puppets?
We will get to the shadow puppets. This is the typical banter zone.
Yes. Yes.
We usually go into like a history hole and a rabbit hole. I'm assuming we don't have a rabbit hole, right?
No, we do
No,
not.
we got no holes this week, John.
This movie's a
No.
hole in itself.
Yes,
This
it
movie-
is.
This movie is a hole. And you almost see a bunch of holes the way these guys are sitting around in their underwear. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
The one guy
it's
at
not
the
the
end
only
is-
shadow puppet I saw. I'll
Yeah,
tell
the
you.
one guy at the end is sitting funny. You can tell he's trying to cover up how blousy the bottoms are.
Oh yeah, his testicle almost falls out. His testicle almost rolled out of that.
Is
Shorts.
that Tony Todd or is that the director's brother?
I don't, it's
Charlie?
the computer nerd
Yeah,
guy.
that's right. Mark
Mhm.
Winnick.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, no,
probably
yeah.
we probably should get into it.
All right.
Yeah.
Who wants to say what shadow puppets is? I think we should let John do it.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Since you did such a good job on whatever Nightmare City.
Nightmare
last
Yeah,
night.
why are you doing this? You every time you make me feel like I'm a failure, and then you ask
You
me to
just
do
made
it
fun
again.
of my widow's peak. Apparently, it's
I
bad
have
then.
one too. All right. I'm not gonna do a big thematic thing. This
All
is
right,
just
that's fine.
It speaks for itself, right? It's lady wakes up in a
Mhm.
in a room, a padded room, but with buttons and glass light bulbs, which
Mhm.
you would not find normally in a padded room because those
No.
things would be pretty dangerous. Those walls don't even line up. And right there, spoiler alert, she's missing a wedding ring, and her dignity, just like everyone else. Yeah. This movie sounds so horrible. The first thing you hear is her screaming, and it sounds like someone's gain is like cranked all the way up. It was so jarring. I was watching it in the car, and I almost hit the side of the road because it scared the shit out of me, but not in like a good way. It's like a shut the fuck up kind of way. Okay, lady meets
Just
guy.
watching it in his car.
It's okay. It was raining and I was on the freeway.
that's fair.
Lady walks out of her room, and then she realizes that she's in this disgusting basement, and then she kind of meets up with other tropes and everyone. And the most important thing, lady and gentlemen, is they're all in their underwear, right?
Mhm.
That's like this could put someone in the hospital with a drinking game if you drank for every time they referenced themselves in underwear. And I was just like, Jesus, that's half the dialogue.
It's an important plot point.
It's
It
very
is-
important.
The only plot point. They figure out ways to make them walk around in their underwear, then they dress them, then they figure out ways to get them naked again. But it's not like in it doesn't go like full pervy. But that's more pervy because it's almost like it's almost fetishized a little bit, where this guy's just like, I just like it when then they're in their underwear, and it's like he doesn't want to see everything really. He like covers up the nude naked model real quick. He just wants people in dirty underwear, and
I
that's
think the
his thing.
mystery adds a layer
Okay.
You know what I mean? If it were just completely naked, you'd be like, I saw it all. You'd get bored with it, but not knowing what's underneath.
But they're all dressed the same
Right.
way. They got the gray tank top and they got the gray briefs or boxers.
Yeah.
Boy shorts or boxers.
Some of them don't
sorry.
have tank tops. Some of them have t-shirts. So it's weird. It's like they
Oh,
ran out of
yeah.
them at Target or some
That's
shit or
right.
Kmart. So they're like, we'll go with gray t-shirts.
They ran out. Yeah.
It totally ran out. That was a good premise whole section you just did there, John.
Sure.
We'll call it that.
It's a
was
low
okay.
bar.
It was a low bar.
Really low.
Yeah. Okay. So Lindsay, what did you think of Shadow Puppets?
I liked that I was discovering what was going on with the characters, but that was about it. It was hard. It didn't do a very effective job of keeping my attention outside of that. Because
Did you not see James Marsters in his underwear?
yeah, but
Camel
he
tail.
doesn't have the blonde hair anymore, so I don't
Right.
care. He's not Spike anymore.
So the blonde hair is what works for him?
I guess, and he didn't have his accent either.
Didn't have the accent, didn't have the attitude.
No, he didn't have
Right,
the he
yeah.
didn't have the duster, the leather duster.
Yeah,
I'm
he is
just
great
like,
as Spike. He is great as Spike.
Mhm.
Okay,
he was a very good Spike. But so like John said, we have all these people, like 8 different people wake up in this facility that's abandoned and they don't know who they are. They don't know their names. They don't remember anything, but they do retain their skills
Right.
that they had previously. So we get little cute clues as to what they are based on their stereotypical behaviors. But then they add this layer on top of the mystery that there's this creature running around or floating around the facility and it's made out of shadows.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fart monster.
It's a fart monster.
It's the lost shadow monster.
Exactly.
Mhm.
This is the Dharma Initiative. They're walking
Mhm.
around.
Mhm.
And they're trying to find their way out and figure out who they are and why they're there and what this monster is. And I don't know if we ever answer
Oh?
most of those
Well,
questions
Whoa. Eh.
effectively.
Yeah, you're no, you're right. You're 100% right. So, not a big fan.
Eh. It's
Okay,
a
that's
bad
fine.
movie.
That's
You
fair.
don't say.
You're telling me Shadow Puppets is a bad movie. John, what'd you think?
In my opinion, this hit the sweet spot of complete incompetence, but competent enough that it sounds like a movie. Sometimes it feels
Mhm.
like a movie. It's paced like a movie,
Yeah.
but the
Doesn't look
contents
like a movie.
yeah, the contents are just utter garbage. The script is absolutely atrocious. It's so convenient until it's not. It plods along, but where a lot of like bad movies are just like, oh, this part's boring, like, oh, it just ran out of gas. The boring parts were the parts that I was laughing my ass off at because the interactions are so crazy. Everyone looks like they're just trying so hard and like has that like grimace look on their face. It's charming in the fact that it's so horribly uncharming.
I don't
Disgusting.
think Jaylene, whatever her name,
Jolene Blalock?
Blaylock
Yeah.
is a human being.
No.
I think she did her Star Trek character as what was she? Romulan? No, what? Something like that. Was
she's
she,
an
Vulcan?
alien being.
Was she Vulcan? Okay, and
That's
she
she.
still thinks she is that, and she's trying to act.
Because she looks like this to the whole thing.
Dude,
With
I'm
her
gonna play a
lips.
clip,
Oh.
and she's just so weird. Here's this clip. Let's.
Does anybody hear me?
She doesn't
So
move
crazy.
her body like a human being would, and her facial expressions are weird. And for some reason, she's always wearing lip gloss.
I didn't notice the lip gloss, but bizarre, just fucking bizarre.
All right.
Very
um,
weird.
Yeah. It is like, okay. Yeah. I want to get into the thing
Yeah,
that I threatened you guys with before we started. But Chris, what'd you think
Okay.
of Shadow Puppets?
I think this is some hot garbage, but it's so interesting. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
I think every time they introduce something that is supposed to explain something, it introduces more questions than
It
answers.
does. It just confuses everything.
it feels to me like an episode of Buffy in that
A
like
little bit. Yeah.
like the explanation is so quick because
like
you're
Outer
in a-
Limits or something.
Yeah, you're like in a TV show, so you don't really need to go into super deep explanation, but it's an hour and a half long movie. But it's shot like a sitcom because it feels like there's like 3 or 4 cameras. Everything is flat. There's no dynamics. There's no depth of field. It's just all flat. Everything's always in focus. There's no cinematic quality to this movie at all.
None.
But you have James Marsters, he's a decent actor.
Mm-hmm.
You have Tony Todd, who's the man. He comes in here and like he's not like an amazing actor, but he's charismatic and he kind of like takes over in some ways.
He did his job in this movie. He did his job.
Yeah, and Jolene Blaylock is unbelievably bad.
He's really bad.
And so like I think that's why they're like, well, we'll just put everybody in their underwear and it won't matter.
She's
Is that what the
80%
deal
Botox
is?
at this point, I think. Right? Like it just
No,
looks.
but I don't, and I don't understand the underwear thing. I just don't.
I don't either. I think it's just so they could recognize that each other were in the same situation. Maybe.
I mean, well, yeah, I will grant you. I will grant you.
Yeah.
It makes you like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're not prepared at all because you have nothing. You're just kind of naked.
Yep.
And I'm with you, Lindsay, on the fact that you're like, oh, the characters don't know what's going on either. Because it is frustrating in a movie where it's like you already know like a car is going to break down or something, and it's like you have to wait for 45 minutes to get to the plot point that the audience is already aware of.
Yeah.
So you're kind of discovering things as it goes along. It's just the fact that like they try and tell you an answer, and it's like that doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense. Like there's no sense made in this thing at all.
It just feels like they started out in a kind of an interesting place because the thesis of the film that's so funny.
Thesis.
That I just said
I need
that
you to
about
write
Shadow.
the term paper on this, John.
What is the
Jesus
thesis
Christ.
statement of this?
Right. It's like,
Episode.
oh, okay, existential crisis and this, that. But then it like dumbs itself down and breaks its own rules up to the point where at the very end it just ends and people just literally walk off the set. And it's like, I guess they're done. Like they were just so done with making this.
I think they give you the audience what they were waiting for the entire time, which is the ass shot. Okay.
In the daylight. Yeah.
In the daylight. They're like, this is what your reward is for finishing this movie is the guy, that nerd guy who looks like, he looks like Gru from Despicable Me. Doesn't he?
A little bit.
I wish
That's all
this
I
was
could see.
McLovin. I wish it was Christopher Mintz-Plasse so bad that played this role. It would have been so much better.
That's what I kept seeing. I was like, that fucking Gru in real life.
Well, when we first meet Jolene Blaylock, I thought her audio was dubbed. She
Oh, it
sounds
It's gotta be.
So wrong.
So weird. Hers
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
James Marston, and it's just
I think most of the audio is ADR in this.
it's got to be because it did not fit. It didn't sound organic at all. It was like
It has that under the skin
sound
quality.
mixing.
to
Yeah,
it,
it was the sound mixing was just really bad.
where
Jamie,
under the
you
skin
have
is
to
a lot
wait.
better. Yeah.
Jamie, you have to wait for the shot again. Like just like the audience had to wait to the end of the movie. Okay, you have to ration the shot.
They want to see Mark Winnick's ass.
So what is your thesis here, John? Like what's
Okay,
your-
well, the thesis is, whatever. There's this guy. Can we just like jump into kind of a little bit more? Sorry, folks, we're gonna spoil, Shadow Puppets.
oh
Yeah.
my god,
Yeah. So,
Go for it.
there's a doctor that's trying to cure people of whatever ails you, right? They have, and this is the most fun part. Like Lindsay said, it's really the characters and finding out who they are. It's like a game of Clue, or it's like a really bad Hammer version, like no budget version of Cube. I was getting a lot of Cube vibes on this, but you have person setting these people up. I thought, oh, okay, it's like an experiment, or it's like maybe it's like a rich person's kink or something. It's like, no, someone at this company fucked up and they're trying to cover it up basically. And so whatever. But what I wanted to do is you have to go like person by person because the tropes are the funniest parts of this thing. So you have, Spike. So Buffy Spike, he's kind of handsome, brooding guy. You know,
Kind of.
your take leader. He's your de facto leader, right? He's like
Mhm.
not too strong, he's seemingly level-headed. Jolene Blaylock, that's like 2 seconds away from giving herself an aneurysm. Which
Acting.
and I'm gonna be a dick, but there's a scene where her boobs are so cockeyed, it made me think of the Chud alien eyes.
Did you say Chud or Chub? 'Cause I was
Chud.
on board with one. Which one of those? Okay.
She had the hardest nipples. Just
Every which way though,
Going this
right?
way.
Didn't notice. Didn't even notice.
I don't know how you
One's up
did.
here. One's down there. I was like, what's going on? I'm into it though. I don't know what's going on, but I like it.
We have Charlie, the computer dweeb, who Chris said it looks like Gru, which he does. I thought that if Michael Cera was cast as McLovin in Superbad, he just looked like a ugly Michael Cera. And he's the one that
Ugly
you're
Michael Cera.
Well, maybe I have a Michael Cera thing. Some people have
I'm
people in
not
dirty
saying-
underwear.
Wow,
I have
I feel like
Michael
you took
Cera.
that wrong. I don't know.
I got really defensive about Michael Cera.
I don't know.
So, sorry. You have crazy supermodel nymphomaniac.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your
Which-
boob quota, right?
Yeah, but
Side boob quota?
why introduce her as a nymphomaniac and then not do anything with that?
Because sex.
But there was none.
That's why.
It was probably written in because the director is Charlie's brother. So it was probably written in like these two are supposed to get together. But the actress is probably like, this guy's not even a fucking actor. Like, I'm not even kissing this guy.
He wanted her to kiss Gru, and she's like, I'm not doing it. Not
Yeah.
even for the money.
You have shrew business lady and aggravated black male security guard. The only people that had attitudes were all people of color in this.
Yeah, they did.
That's
They went
true.
and like and they're all. Well, I guess that one guy was a security guard, but then of course Tony Todd is like a criminal. And it's like,
Mhm.
Right.
why do you make James Marsden as the criminal? He seems a little more shifty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like, and I think Tony Todd, they had two red herrings in this, right? Because Amber the
Mhm.
That's
crazy
true.
nympho
Yeah.
and then Tony Todd. They're your
Amber
red
the
herrings.
crazy nympho. I can't wait for that Christmas movie to come out.
Amber the crazy
She just
nympho.
spreads the love.
Well, and so does James Marsters in this. Who are we missing? Oh, we're missing plot device nurse, red shirt nurse.
Yeah. She was the one that was in the straitjacket, right?
Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what was that about?
Okay, and then yeah, and then one person's putting all these people in these situations. So why did he arbitrarily choose to string some people? Okay, I guess he chained up one of them because he was an actual criminal, but the other ones are just like, one was in a nice padded room, one had like a living room
It's
setting.
it's
Just
nonsense.
It makes no
nonsense.
sense. Well,
Yeah.
because I mean, skipping forward to the end where he's talking about why he did all this, but then there's like clipboards with information outside their cells, and it's like that makes no sense if he's just trying to get rid of them or keep them
Right.
quiet. Or whatever the hell he was trying to do. It's like, what's the point of putting that nurse who doesn't remember who she is
Right.
behind two iron locked doors,
Right.
chained to the floor with a face mask on and a straitjacket? What's the point? Is he just, is that his kink?
Lost.
What
It's
the
Lost.
Yeah.
Where
And there's a
they just
smoke
keep
monster in this one,
introducing-
too.
They're like
Yeah.
they just keep introducing things and then never bother to explain it in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whose fart was it though? Was that ever
it was
explained?
the old man,
The
fart,
old dude.
John. Yeah,
Okay.
old dude who had his brain didn't work. He was brain dead.
So
He
it's
farted out a smoke monster.
it sucked his life essence, his soul, which
Yeah.
turned into
Flatulence.
shadows with stabby things for some reason, and glowing blue eyes that has weirdo predator vision.
All right,
Yeah, this
There's a lot
movie
of-
makes no sense. It makes
We
no sense.
we threw out a lot of science there.
Yes. Yes, we did.
So
Exactly.
This is
all right, so you have this facility
Right.
where there's one criminal, and
Mhm.
also one supermodel. Somehow
Well, they're all
both-
supermodels, but one of them is canonically.
Yes. Somehow they both go to this facility to be treated, in
Mhm.
which one doctor works there, and one security guard, and one nurse.
2 doctors.
Oh, I guess the wife is. I guess
Husband,
Jolene's the
wife,
doctor.
yeah.
Yes, and the whole place is underground
Right.
in a forest that you get to with a hatch,
Mhm.
Yes.
and it's like
True.
if you, they just don't want you to think about anything in this movie
No.
because it's all mystery at the beginning, but by the end, it's even more mysterious.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at the end, they just didn't care. But at points, these people don't remember who they are. They don't remember their names. By all accounts, they should
They're
remember.
clean slates.
Oh, yeah, they're clean slates. Her and Jack, who is James Marsters, walks into a room, and this is the crown jewel of the entire like set. Like the director was so fucking stoked that he got this like coffin looking thing.
Mm.
So they go in this
Oh,
room, and it looks sweet, right? And immediately she goes, I don't know, it's some kind of sensory deprivation thing. I was like, fuck you. What are you talking about? How do you get that from that? Like, this movie is just so far up smelling its own ghost fart ass.
Okay,
Mhm.
who thought that sensory deprivation thing was going to be how they caught the monster?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
Yep, sacrifice shrew businesswoman, but we
I-
caught the thing. No, we didn't.
The monster is just shadow. It's like Voldemort from Harry Potter 1 at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yes.
flies through as a shadow, but can be stopped pretty easily by like a shitty light.
Yeah, but it comes out in the light, which
But it
makes
comes
no
out in the
sense.
light. Look at it.
It's-
And it makes cat noises. It purrs
Yeah.
like a cat.
Yes. And it also can attach itself to other people's shadows, because when
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
McLovin is perving on Nympho Lady, it like it looks like she grows like spines and stuff. It would look like Species, right? They're ripping off
Yes.
Species hardcore right here. But
It's
Then-
it's cheap. It's cheap storytelling because it's just fake. It's all fake.
Mm-hmm.
It's all to make mystery. And then it's like, actually, that's not actually what's happening. I don't,
Right.
Okay, but by the explanation you have in this movie, what is that? What just happened there? What just happened there? By
No
the
idea.
explanation they explain with this shadow monster, how does that make any sense?
zero.
At
Because
And
the
it-
time, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is mysterious. Just like Lost. It's like, oh, what does this
Mhm.
mean? And then in the end, they're like, it doesn't mean anything because we were lying the whole time.
right. It's purgatory
be-
the whole time.
Well, because evidently this creature isn't just moving around. It can manifest out of other shadows or
It can?
something. Well, because when they're in the room where this scene where, because it doesn't come into the room, it's like the shadows of
it grew
the jars
around,
grow
yes.
out and distort, and then it becomes the monster.
Which technically that was kind of the coolest kill.
It was.
This was, and it looked pretty cool too.
Yeah.
It was
And
it
it's-
was like Terminator 2. You got Terminator 2.
Yeah. And it's very surprising because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what it's going to do. You just see this shadow crossing across the wall and gathering together. And then all of a sudden it stabs this guy. But then
But
they
it's
don't.
got predator vision too. We
Yeah.
forget.
It fucking has predator vision. I think it was cooler when it didn't have a face.
Yeah, the face is stupid.
Yeah.
Because once it has a face, you're like, that's not cool anymore. It's just a stupid floating face. But when it was
Mhm.
a shadow, I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't know. Couldn't a vacuum just kind of take this thing? Because it's more like a mist.
Right? Just
dark
suck it.
mist.
Get the shot
like
back.
It's like a smoke. It's more like smoke like than
Get a Roomba.
like.
Mm-hmm.
Because he literally went like this and chopped at it, and it was like smog, like it was fog.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
it
like the
detached
science
itself, so it
just
wasn't a
doesn't
whole
make
thing.
sense in this movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, and it can swim. We forgot.
Oh, yeah, it can go in the water.
Did Shadow go in the water? Shadow can go in water. Shadow
guess.
goes in water, right?
But it's not. But the smoky shot. Look, it's still smoky though.
But this fucking movie, okay, they're supposed to okay, they gotta cut the power to let the electronic lock door open so they can escape. So they
Right.
kill the power. But for some reason, there's still fucking light everywhere, like in the pool or in different hallways
That
that
was
they've
the
used
pool
7
reflecting,
times.
Lindsay.
Off of what?
Off a light. Off a light. Exactly.
Oh my god.
Well, okay. And all right.
So all over
I
the
don't think we've
place
ever
with
been
it.
this confounded.
I don't think
No,
so either.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like watching this, and I'm like, that's why I was into it in some
Right,
ways, because it's just like
right.
my brain is churning, and
Yeah.
it's like a mental exercise while you're watching it. But like, okay, they start out in like the shittiest of shitty basements
Mm-hmm.
where their padded rooms are, but then the model has a room in like she has like one bedroom. And then they have like offices, and then there's a pool, but like none of these sets are connected in any
Well,
realistic
and then
way.
there's classrooms, so it looks
Right,
like they were in an
yes.
old school or
I
something.
think it's an actual mental facility. It's just he was fucking around in the basement where that wasn't supposed to be where people went, but then there's cells. I don't
Did you
know.
read that?
Spirit, mind, body. Wait,
Yeah.
go back.
Read
What
this
was
again. This is the whole movie: spirit, body, mind, light, flows, memory. That's the whole movie summed up.
the fuck?
That's him reminding himself to put all the people once they're conked
That-
out in clothes. But yeah,
That-
if he was trying to cover shit up, wouldn't he just kill them in their sleep?
Yeah.
He already murders people. I don't.
He
What if
helps
he-
too much.
So okay, James Marsden turns out to be the bad
Marsters.
guy.
I wish it was
Marsters,
James Marsden.
Yeah, James Marsters ends up being the bad guy who uses his new technology, the brain wipe, and he erases everybody's memory except his own.
Yeah.
Because
Fart monster.
because he used it on the brain dead guy, and that made the fart monster come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And,
And
so,
so
then
then the wife got
he-
mad.
So the wife got mad, so he's like, "I'm gonna erase your memory." And that's
Right.
what he did. How did
Yeah.
how did he wrangle everyone up and put them in this machine to erase their memory? And what did he
But-
do with the old guy who's already in it?
But then, after he does this to all these people, then he takes himself and gets in the gray outfit,
Right.
and goes and locks himself in a cell.
He infiltrates.
And
Well, he doesn't
waits,
lock. He just
and
sits there.
waits
Yeah.
for
Yep.
something to happen.
What if no one ever came and he just died in there because he locked himself in there? How did he lock himself in there?
He wasn't locked in.
His
it was open.
unlocked.
And so
But
was
so
hers.
was hers.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
He
All right, I have
wanted
another
her to
que-
get out and find him so they could be together without her remembering that he was an asshole.
right. So I
Must
got a
be.
question though. Where did all the blood come from in this room? Who died in that room?
Who died?
Nobody.
That's sauce. It's just someone had a lot of, chicken.
It was a spaghetti accident.
It was a spaghetti
Right.
night, and
Microwaving spaghetti and
It
had a
happens.
little too much, and then bam.
there's a scene, I don't know if you pulled this clip, where it's after they let Tony Todd out, and the woman and the crazy nympho like slinks away because she knows the shadow monster's coming. And then after all that happens, they go in the room, and Tony Todd has her like up against the wall, and he has a magic marker.
It's a scalpel.
No, it's a marker.
Is it really?
Marker. It's a whiteboard marker. I'm like, what are you gonna do with that?
He's gonna draw a mustache on her. He's gonna give her a widow's peak.
Oh my god, this movie is fucking insane.
I need to check the tape because I
Okay.
could have sworn it was a scalpel.
It's a blue whiteboard marker, and there's a whiteboard. I don't know if he just held it because he didn't think it would be in frame or something. It was a
Amazing.
fucking marker. Yeah, look, Stefan, 100% marker.
Wow.
At one point, there's a phone ringing,
Right. Who's calling?
and they break this thing, and they get in, they answer the phone, but then it doesn't work.
Oh
And
my gosh, she smiled for a second. the Botox released her face. Oh
she
no,
doesn't know how to use a phone because she's not human.
No,
She's not.
This movie was exhausting.
I am so exhausted. But,
You-
well,
yeah.
but then the phone thing, they say that they're disconnected or whatever. Then how did anybody call it? Why did it ring? Why did it ring?
Because Lindsay, spirit leads to body, leads to
No clothes.
flagellants. Light, clothes, remember. That was
That's
his
what it
notes.
is.
Yeah.
This sounds like Trump getting his like fucking thing. TV, woman,
Camera
whatever.
person, TV,
Yeah.
whatever.
Whatever he did that.
man.
That was hilarious. Okay, so wait. Tony Todd gets killed at one point by James Marsters. Okay,
A couple
sort of.
times.
But then James Marsters is like locks Jolene Blaylock in the cell and is gonna leave. And he goes to the door that's been locked and he opens it. And then Tony Todd's on the other side somehow
Yeah,
Right.
how the fuck did he get out there?
and stabs him.
Well, first they look at each other for like 10 seconds. It's like, you have a gun. You could shoot him, maybe.
He was so surprised. He had to just look at him.
I was surprised. I was like, there's no fucking way you did that, Tony Todd. How did you do that?
No.
He's
Everything.
Candyman.
Everything was
He's the
wrong.
Candyman.
When Gru was perving on Nympho in the pool, they did the horrible jump scare of Shrew Girl just coming up to, just walking down the stairs and going, "Did you see anything?" No one talks like that.
Nobody behaves like a human being in like the first hour of this movie. Like if you're wandering around with people and you don't know who you are or why you're there or anything about yourself, you wouldn't talk to people like this. Like when the security guard attacks them, wouldn't you say something as he's trying to beat you in the head with a lead pipe? Like, hey, no, stop.
You know what I would do, Lindsay? I'd grab the nearest magic marker and I'd fuck him up.
Mustache for
I'd
you.
draw a penis on his face.
All right, wait. Okay, so they explain that the monster is looking for life essence or whatever.
Did they?
Okay.
I don't remember
Yes.
Yeah, that's
James
sorta.
Marsters at one point says that. But
Okay.
then they make it outside into the woods
that. Right.
and it doesn't see any life. It only sees them.
In the
Mhm.
woods, right.
Yeah.
There's
Like
life
imagine how many
everywhere.
living animals are in that woods.
Right? Bugs, bunnies.
So
All
that
sorts of
doesn't
shit.
hold up.
But
And I was like,
why did they have to be naked to not entice the monster, but the monster still killed them while they were in their underwear?
Because it
Because
ass.
because
That's why.
why am I
I gotta say,
Uh.
it kind of kept me into the movie a lot of times.
her ass?
I'm not. Well, just like, sure, everyone's
Oh.
like this. Like, you're just walking around. Like, okay, I guess I'm into this. I don't know why not.
And I'm gonna walk
There's
around
something
and do
going
this
on.
because this means
Everyone's cold. Oh, it's so cold. Ooh.
Oh,
You're probably trying to hide stuff, which I understand.
He's still Charlie's still doing it when they've ran around the facility. He's
Mhm.
still freezing.
Yep.
But his nipples are like, they zoom in on it once and then he has like pepperoni nipples. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wait, so
I get
his
it.
nipples? Do they get hard? His nipples get hard, John?
Grooves? Yeah. They're constantly.
I didn't notice his.
I've noticed them
Didn't
all.
notice. You didn't notice Bruce's hard nipples, huh?
Yeah. Shrew businesswoman, no nipples.
Mm-mm.
No nipples.
Well, she's a shrewd businesswoman, so
Yes, so
she
she's
doesn't
shrewd
have
nipples.
nipples.
She's nippleless.
Well, that was so funny before we figured out who she was, and this was when we first meet them and they split up. And it's like, we don't remember who we are. And my first thought was, well, you remember that you're a bitch.
Oh shit!
She was
okay.
so mean
Yeah.
to that guy
Well,
for no
alright.
reason.
White
I mean,
filmmaker writing people of color.
Okay, wait.
They all
So,
got
So-
attitudes.
all right. I feel like people are like an amalgamation of their experiences
Mhm.
that form their personality.
Mhm.
If you were to take everything beyond this moment and erase it, I don't even know if you'd be a person anymore.
Right.
No,
How would you know to walk?
You wouldn't
Yeah.
remember how to drive or do basic things because you learned all those. I mean, muscle memory counts for some things.
You'd be a
but
baby, right?
You would be a
Like,
baby.
Yes.
Would you remember
I-
how to speak?
Where's the scene where James Marston? Well, I guess he's not the one who wiped himself. Jolene Blaylock is just shitting herself on this bed or something. Like that's
Right.
what you would be. You would just be like,
But no, she remembers what a sensory deprivation tank is.
yeah.
She remembers how to read medical printouts and all this stuff.
Right.
Rue remembers how to hack the computers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. You had your
And-
your stereotypical hacker scene where they show the password, and then the next thing he's like, oh, now I'm in the Pentagon and I just launched all the missiles. It's just like, what the
And you have to have another computer for some reason to create a network so he can shut the power down. And
So
it's
you only
like
need
you
to
were
turn
just
it on.
they only
don't
need
have
to
to
turn
use
it
the
on. You
keyboard.
don't have to use it. You
Wait,
don't have
no
to
keyboard.
nothing
Go back
like
to that slide. What is that poster in the background? It's some great.
Oh, I
It's
want
like
to read
some
that.
kind of litmus gradient thing. What
How
the
happy
hell?
are you? Yeah.
All right, look at the blood though. It went all around that.
Because
Like, how did that
that is
happen?
like
It's a sick
some
poster.
that's like spray thing. Like someone cut a carotid and it's spraying like that. That's what that looks like. Or you just dumped like a stick in a bucket of blood and went flick like that.
Yeah.
Could fart monster diarrhea
okay.
that way, maybe?
All
I
right,
don't
guys.
know.
Okay, tell me how this fart monster thing works. Because at some point it stabs a guy Terminator 2 style, but then his
Right.
body disappears. And then
Mhm.
another time the lady falls into the chamber thing, but then
She
her
just
body
totally dissolves.
disappears too.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
James Marsters' body doesn't at the end. I don't know what's going on.
No.
the
Well, 'cause
most
they keep-
uncertain. Yeah.
They keep talking about, well, there's blood here, but where are the bodies? Well, one, no one else fucking works there.
Yeah. There's eight lockers, and there's 8 of us. Dun, dun, dun. Like,
The
what?
actors are like, I'm not
Why
lying on
does-
that floor.
Why does the criminal have a locker? Isn't he a prisoner?
Right?
Why does he need a
Yeah,
locker?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. And why does the machine have a counter on it telling you how many times it's been used?
And why did she know it? Why did she know what that meant?
Yeah.
It just said 8 on it. And she's like, oh, this is how many times it's ran.
The model and nymphomaniac.
There's no reason.
Good Lord. This is great. Yep.
Like what? And why was she being observed through a 2-way mirror? Okay, never mind. I
Because he's a
person.
person.
Wow.
And also,
Yeah, I
if,
was-
if wiping your memory is supposed to help you with your problems, then why does she still act that way?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
And no one cared about the old man that was plugged in. That whole time,
No, they just left him there.
Dr. Botox is the whole thing. She's like, nope, we got to help. We got to help. Everyone's a part of us. Like, I don't care if this guy's a criminal. I don't care if she's crazy. I don't care. This lady's locked up and has a Silence of the Lambs fucking thing on her face. They're all on our team. They're all part of us. She saw that old man. She's like, dip. I'm out.
Fuck that old man.
Fuck
He's
that
brain
old
dead.
Mr.
Who
Old.
cares?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Tony Todd peeing? And everybody's disgusted by the fact that he has to pee.
I loved that because that addressed something that these movies never do, is that people gotta pee.
Sure.
People gotta pee.
People got to pee.
People have to pee. That is true. And he was tied up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the shrew businesswoman hasn't shit in 20 years doesn't mean that Tony
That's
Todd
true.
doesn't
Dude,
have to pee.
She was like mad at the guy because she was in her underwear with
Yeah.
him. And it was like, well, it wasn't his fault, for one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And he wasn't even like being a perv or anything.
He just
No.
looks like a perv, though. I wouldn't want to be in my underwear around that
You're
guy.
saying Gru from Despicable Me is a big pervert?
Well, there was like weird.
How many fucking teeth does Gru have? That's not even human.
That's a
You
lot.
see
How many
that?
front
Holy
teeth does he have?
shit.
They all look the same.
That's disturbing.
Eesh.
But there's like weird sexual tension in some scenes. Like there's like when they first meet the nympho model, there's
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
jealous looks from the women. It's just it's weird.
Can you imagine what like after parties and stuff on this movie were like? Because there's got to be a lot of sexual tension because everybody's in their underwear the whole time. You
Probably.
got like James Marsters and like these people. Like, I was just learning about this after party for this movie starring one Nicolas Cage, from a person I know who was there, and it was like insane. He wasn't there because he leaves like the day before they end up wrapping or whatever. But like all the other people, insane shit.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I've been at some rap parties just with small stuff that's been pretty crazy. I can't imagine anything on any kind of like
Yeah, budget.
something that has a budget.
I could imagine they were all trying to wait until Mark Winnick left because he was just the guy. And they're like, fuck this guy. And once he left, they're like, now let's party. I wanted him to
Yes.
die so bad. It's just so shitty that he lived.
He's a hero Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back and he saves her.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then they do the flashlight escape thing.
Well, and he saves her just like, oh, I thought you might be hiding in this room.
Conveniently.
He
Everything
didn't
is
even know
convenient.
that room existed, did he?
No. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's like sitcom. It's like Buffy, where it's like we don't have enough time, so we just got to make it work, and you have to go with it and not think about it. But there's too much time. You think about it.
Well,
Yeah.
the other problem is that we get all of the information in like 2 minutes. Not even like a minute and a half. James Marshall just spits out everything
Mm-hmm.
to let us in. on
Why
it.
did he tell her everything?
He
If
didn't
he
need
went
to.
through all this trouble, why didn't he just keep up with the charade? And he could be
Because
like,
we
"I don't
needed
know who
to
that
know
is.
as
I
the
don't know.
audience. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Voldemort dies in the sun, blows up as a fart does in the sun.
Well, first, Dr. Botox had a ponytail. She was running through the woods,
know, and then it
tripped,
was
and then the
gone.
ponytail's gone. I literally
I
cheered
saw that too. Yeah.
while I was driving on the freeway, and then oh shit, and I grabbed the steering wheel really fast. The man, the inconsistencies. This is loaded with them, and that's what made
Mhm.
it so fun, though. Like, I wasn't bored because everything is so stupid, and it's so like I couldn't believe it. It was like it's like watching Fox News or something. It's like, I hate all of this, but I can't believe they're saying this, so I gotta like tune in till the commercial break.
Is it? It was a mess, but it was kind
It's
of
a
fun.
huge mess.
Why, like, Tony Todd? Like, why are these people in this movie?
Tony
I don't
Todd will be in
know.
any movie.
That's true.
I think.
I know.
Yeah.
But he was
This
one
was
of the best
2007.
parts of it.
Easily.
Him and James Marsters were they were the best. They did the best job
He
acting
wasn't
wise in
bad.
it. No, he wasn't bad.
He wasn't great, but
But he didn't have a lot
Hey,
to
it's
work
fine.
with either.
yeah.
She's
He's like,
not
I'm acting human. I'm acting human.
She's got lifeless eyes like a doll's eyes. Black
There should be like
eyes.
case studies on just her. Like, is she okay? Can we tweet her and be like, are you okay?
I'm gonna play something again, real quick. Okay.
It's a,
Does anybody hear me?
that's
What's with the like the?
Frowny face and
I
the,
don't
yeah.
know.
It's like a bird or something. Like, you know how birds move?
I'm emoting.
It's just weird.
It's just bizarre. I'm kind of into it.
When he pervs on her too.
So
I mean, it's
weird.
it's his wife, but like he kind of like throws out the first perv
Yeah, like,
shot,
You look good. in
and
your
she just
underwear."
goes, "Thanks." So like at that point, it's like, ugh,
That's so weird. So
never
funny.
mind.
I didn't think
Gross.
she was that bad on Star Trek Enterprise.
But she gets to
Just
play
throwing
an
it out there.
alien.
But
She's
she
not
plays like
acting.
She's like emotionless, and
She
I
had
think
less makeup in that.
she just literally is emotionless.
Yeah,
Maybe she's like a sociopath or something.
maybe.
Just like fakes
Could
it.
be.
Should we check in on the other actors then? Fuck her. Like, I wonder if
I
everyone
know.
else is okay. Have we heard from Richard Whitten, the security guard? In a
Do you
while?
guys wear a wedding ring?
Yeah.
I do.
I never wear mine. But if you take it off, do you have a mark?
Yes.
No.
Really?
Well, I see like
See?
an indentation.
That's just
Yeah.
an indent that will grow back.
That's
John.
okay. Well,
She had like a burn or something. It was
Well, maybe
weird.
she tans.
Oh, okay.
But why would you
That could
tan
be.
with your ring on?
Like,
Sure.
look at that. Like,
She's just chapped
Burn.
looking.
Yeah, that's just bad storytelling.
she's like, are these hands? I've never seen them before. Because I'm an alien.
Ugh.
I'm
So.
confounded by this film.
But I'd watch it again. I would put it on right now.
It's just like I guess it wasn't sci-fi because it had nudity in it and shit. And they said the F word, I think. But it feels like a sci-fi original.
It does. It does.
Yeah, there's not a lot of blood. I mean, well, there's a lot of blood in that one room,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly,
I
that's
think
blood.
what you said is like they were trying to put ketchup on a hot dog and just had an accident. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Got out of control. It happens. Happens, John.
it does.
Was there
But-
music in this movie? I can't even remember.
No, there's so
didn't-
many scenes where there's just like silence.
Ah. I don't know if it would have helped though. I don't think so.
And they're all
No.
barefoot, so they're not even doing like footstep sound. Yeah, it is. It's just weird.
It's awkward, and I like it. It's so awkward.
It's hot.
Explain why you'd watch it again, because it's an enigma. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird. Okay, you need to go watch it. It's on Tubi.
It's more interesting
It's
than
on
this,
Amazon Prime for free too.
and it's on
Fuck.
YouTube also.
I watched all those goddamn commercials for no reason.
Like fuck Michael Winnick. Like who cares about him as a filmmaker because he made a shitty movie, but his movie just wound up being more interesting than I think he meant it to be.
I just don't know what he was, because he wrote it too, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought. I don't know what he was going for, or what he thought he explained or left a mystery, or I don't know what he's trying to do to us as an audience.
I would say he was like auditioning for Lost, like a writer on Lost, but this was after, right? Like Lost was wrapped by this point. Trying to make excuses.
They give you the audience what they want. You get the nerd's ass and you get her ass. At the
Oh
end.
God.
Yikes.
What a movie.
What a movie.
Oh God. So, Lindsay, would you recommend it?
No, I would not.
Really?
I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, if you really like bad movies, there's a few things to pull from this, but you're gonna confuse yourself and make yourself frustrated, and I don't know. I don't want to watch it again. I don't think
making you.
I know you guys have said
You gotta
want
watch
to
it
watch it again. I'm like, but the plot is just so convoluted and confusing, and nothing is explained or has any motivation or reason to it.
Yeah.
And not in a fun way for me. Because, I mean, most
okay.
bad movies, it's like, haha, look at them, they don't know what they're doing. In this, I think he knew what he was doing and just didn't care or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch it with my kids right now. It's been on in the background, actually. No, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but I would just watch it. I don't think I would recommend it to anyone, but I would just be like, I'm getting off Twitter, folks, for the night. I'm gonna go watch Shadow Puppets again. It's just such a weird thing. Like I said, it's that strange sweet spot of incompetence, but also feels like a movie enough to where it's not just like someone shooting in their backyard and making us watch it. There's stuff that happens. It's gross. It's dumb. I just want to do like a real character study on Jolene Blaylock though. Like she is I want to go down that rabbit hole now.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna look up like what else she's done.
She
She's
started out as a
terrible.
model at age 16. She went to like Europe and Asia and did a lot of modeling there as a teenager. And then she came back for a visit and decided to get into acting. And that's about all I know.
All right, let's see. She's
and
done.
Stargate, yeah, Starship Troopers 3.
She hasn't even done that much though.
Sex Tape.
Yeah, like there's not even enough here to really get into.
You know who at first I thought she was the actress that played the princess in 13 Ghosts, because that's who she looks like. It's not
Oh.
her, but she's got those black eyes.
They
and
wouldn't even
just
have to put the
emotion-
contacts in.
They wouldn't even have to put contacts in.
Starship Troopers 3?
Hmm.
She's like on the cover, right?
Ow.
Who did she play in Starship Troopers 3? She played Dizzy? Didn't
I
she
have
die?
no idea. She
Does he
probably
die?
plays an alien or
Captain
something.
Lola Beck.
She plays Johnny Rico.
No, the original is in there. Casper Van Dien reprises his Johnny Rico role in
Oh
Starship
my.
Troopers 3.
Do
Have you seen
wanna
Starship
live
Troopers 3?
forever? No. I've
There's
only
a
seen the
General
first
Dix
one.
Hauser. That's hilarious. That's a nod to Dookie Howser.
Yeah, no, this isn't a good movie, but it is an interesting one. And I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but the whole time I was kind of like interested because it's so weird.
It is very
And it
weird.
gets really, really redundant with the sets. The sets are fucking awful.
Yeah.
And they don't work together in the slightest. They don't stitch together at all. That makes sense. And they keep
No.
going back and forth through like 3 or 4 of them. And so it gets really boring. And all the monster stuff is really bad and dumb because it's a fucking smoke monster that if you have a shitty flashlight runs away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how is this a threat at all?
And why is there a fucking
Only if you're
pool?
dumb. How many scenes? Yeah, I don't know. How many scenes were they like, oh shit, there it is. She's like in that little cell room. She has a fucking flashlight, but she doesn't shine it.
She doesn't.
No.
Because
No.
Red Shirt had to die.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are you doing? All right.
Tony
Or
Todd
the-
stares the thing down for
Yeah.
like ever.
They just stand
It's-
there and stare at it.
Yeah.
What a movie.
It's
What a
it's
movie, guys.
incoherent and confounding.
Yeah, I want to watch more of this guy's movies. They're pretty good. Michael.
Do they
Winnick
all star
knows
his
what
brother?
to do?
Ugh.
I want to watch his 2018 movie Malicious. The cover artwork looks fucking terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But it's on Prime Video.
Oh my.
Did we discover a new gem in Mark Minnick? Michael Winnick, rather?
Michael Winnick,
Possibly.
we may have.
Patrick Warburton? What?
Wait a
He's-
second.
He's done how many? Like 7 or 8 films.
Oh,
hasn't he?
Lindsay, he did Code of Honor with fucking Steven Seagal, where he's so fat and he's in his like.
He
thing
just
and he's got
sits
his
the whole
pistols.
time.
He's
Mm,
like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you.
it's like a Cameron Mitchell role. Ugh. Gary, he directed something with Gary Oldman and Virginia Madsen. What?
What?
Who gave this guy money? Oh no, he wrote it. Guns,
Okay.
Girls, and Gambling.
What the fuck?
He's busy too. He's writing shit now. People are buying his stuff.
I mean, why wouldn't they? They obviously saw Shadow Puppets.
Oh man, his newest movie, Dark Asset, is in post-production. Expected out next year.
They're like, yeah, we'll
Is
hire you. We'll hire
anybody
you.
in it?
Yeah, Robert Patrick's in it.
What?
Byron Man.
Oh my
Robert Patrick.
god. Is he the only writer credited?
No, and another person. He
Oh,
wrote
Mark
the
Winnick's
screenplay.
in it. Gru's in it.
Oh my
plays
god.
Alex.
Oh, is he? It's the only roles he can get. Is his brothers. It's in these shitty movies.
Do I
All
have to
right.
get in my underwear this time, Michael?
I think. Is there anything else with the Shadow Puppets? Are we
I think we covered
Well,
everything.
I think we're about done here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Show it to Grandma.
All right, guys. That's it. And this is all it was just a little bonus.
Mhm.
Little bonus podcast. John, where can people find all your stuff?
Yeah, you could follow me at cannibalvideo.com or at justdaggers.com. Leave me all my videos.
Oh,
look at John.
no.
John's
Oh,
like
stupid.
his internet just quit. Doesn't even care anymore. He's
Oh.
frozen in place. Oh, he's
Am I
back.
There you're back.
Oh, good job.
I'm back. Yeah.
John the host.
Stefan just tanked my internet. Yeah. Just sign on to all the Cannibal Video videos and just comment, I love John.
Will do. Lindsay, people can find you at Lindsay Washburn on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on Bad Movie Night.
Yes, I'll be there every Monday, except if I'm out of town or something like that.
Yeah, and you gotta watch Witchcraft 4.
I will.
And
I'm
can I recommend don't watch the YouTube one, rent it on Amazon so you get the extreme pervy weird experience that,
I shall do
me
that.
and AJ got, and Rebecca got.
I shall
Yeah,
do that.
It's
Well, when I
I'll
came
just-
in, there was something about Julie Strain's butthole, and I'm like,
Oh.
okay, I'm clicking off now, and I need to watch this
that's
before
pretty much
I
what
watch.
that. That's
I need
pretty
to
much
put
what
this on the big
entire
screen.
episode's about.
I heard Julie Strain's butthole and something. I was just like, okay.
That was the subtitle for the episode, pretty much. Yeah, no,
What a
that's gonna
double
do it.
feature. Shadow Puppets into Witchcraft. What is it, 3 or 4?
four.
Four.
We're on the
Four?
4th one.
We're like 4 of 16. We're like 1/4
Oh my
the way through that
God.
shit.
Witchcraft, the shocker.
Pretty much.
Two in the
It's
pink,
just-
one in the stink.
Oof, oof. Yeah,
Yikes.
that's it. That's it for this bonus podcast. If I haven't convinced you yet, I will convince you now. Go to maketransient.com, look at the
Mhm.
movie we're trying to fund, and hopefully you will contribute to that if you haven't. But that's going to do it, guys. We will catch you here next time. Goodbye.
Bad Movie Night Podcast. 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 We hope you enjoy listening to Bad Movie Night.